Hey everybody, and welcome to Meals with Melissa, where I come up with healthier options of things you love to eat. Now, it is pumpkin spice season, and I don't know about you, I love it. You know, maybe you don't, I don't know, but I do love pumpkin spice. So, one of the things that normally we can't do is walk into Starbucks and get whatever the latest frothier drink is. So we're gonna make our own, because today we are making a sugar-free pumpkin spice latte. Now, make sure that you get the right ingredients for this. When we're going to be using some pumpkin puree, you want to make sure that you actually get true pure pumpkin puree and not pumpkin pie filling. It does make a difference. All right, now I've already started. I've got some almond milk, about 3/4 of a cup almond milk on the stove, and it is just heating up really quick. And to that, we're going to add about 2 tablespoons of the pumpkin puree. Now, just keep in mind that even though we're not adding any sugar, this does contain some carbohydrates. So you do want to make sure that you count that in when it comes to your macros. All right, so I'm gonna put that in there. Okay, and we're gonna just make sure we're gonna mix that around a little bit. All right. Pumpkins, I do love it, I do love it. Okay, so to that, we're also going to add a 1/2 teaspoon of vanilla extract. Now, mine came directly from Mexico, so you know it's gonna be good stuff. Now, again, I'm using what I have at home, so there's a few things that were in the recipe, and there's a couple things that aren't in the recipe, but we're gonna make it work. So 1/2 teaspoon of vanilla, a little more than that, but that's okay. All right, to that, we're also going to add a little bit of liquid stevia. Now, the original recipe calls for whatever sugar substitute that you choose. They are not all created equal, so be very careful that you don't use something that makes your stomach or your guts upset. I know that things like erythritol and some of the sugar alcohols really kind of get my gut a little unhappy. So keep that in mind that if it works for you, that's great. But some of them, things like Splenda, can still spike your blood sugar, and they're finding out now that some of those things, including Splenda and aspartame, are really, really bad for you. All right, so I'm gonna use a little bit of just liquid, unflavored liquid stevia. Use it a little bit to taste. Turn this down just a little bit. I'm also going to add 1 teaspoon of pumpkin pie spice. Okay, I got pumpkin all over my finger. That's why I'm kind of holding it up there. All right, so we'll get that going in there. We'll mix it up. And I'm going to make a big mess. That's what's going to end up happening, because, you know, that's kind of how I roll. All right, so I'm going to mix that up. I've got my little whisk. Mix that in there. You want to cook this for a couple minutes until it's bubbling and hot. There we go. Now, by the time I'm done, I'm actually going to use an immersion blender to make sure that it's mixed really, really well, and should be a little frothy, but you can also use a frother if you have one. All right, so put that all in there. I'm going to allow that to cook for just a little bit, and then we're going to add some brewed coffee. Now, you can brew it however the heck you want. If you want to make a pot, that's totally up to you. I use a Keurig, so I've already brewed my coffee. It's ready to go there. We're going to throw that in here in just a second as it's cooking. Okay. Now, normally this recipe also calls for either 1/2 and 1/2 or for a heavy whipping cream. I'm just not going to use that because that's not in my macros right now. But obviously, excuse me, doing that would add a little thickness to it and a little more latte-like. So, you know, of course, do what works for you. Okay, I'm gonna plug in my little immersion blender, turn that off. Now, of course, once you're done, you can add all the fun stuff. Like you could add a little bit of sugar-free whipped cream. You could add some cinnamon or some nutmeg to it to give it an extra little, woo, it is fall, right? Totally up to you. Now, this should make it a little bit frothy, probably not quite like a frother. And because I'm not using the 1/2 and 1/2 or the cream, that it's not going to probably be the same, but I'm going to make sure that I mix it really well. Good, without making a mess. Good job, Dad. There we go. Okay, get nice and frothy. Okay, then I'll pour it back in my mug, and then I'm going to have some sugar-free pumpkin spice latte on my own. Don't have to pay $8 for it, and no sugar added. And there we go. Smells really, really good right now. There you go. I'm going to leave the recipe down below. Don't forget, if you're watching this on YouTube, make sure that you subscribe and hit the notification bell so you get all the new recipes as they come out. month, between now and October, probably gonna be a lot of pumpkin spice or at least fall related recipes because of course I love to use what's in season. Now, if you are watching this on Facebook, make sure that you leave a comment below, especially if you try it. I want to know what you think. But don't forget to hop over to YouTube and sign up to get all the new recipes as they come out. So, I believe fall starts, the true fall starts this weekend. So enjoy. I know the colder weather's coming already. We can feel it. Rained a ton here today. But anyway, up until next week, that's Meals with Melissa. Have an incredible week, you guys. Wait for some more recipes. Bye now.